Hello and welcome to Robin's Crochet Corner. My name is Robin Gribben, and in today's tutorial we are going to learn how to do an invisible decrease. I like using this whenever I'm doing any of my amigurumi toys because I want to be able to make sure they don't have as many holes. I don't know if in your experience, but I know in mine, before I learned how to do this stitch, a lot of times when I was using the regular decrease, it just didn't seem like it looked the same as the other stitches I was doing, and it had a tendency to be a little bit more holy than I like it to be. And when you're stuffing something, when you're making a toy or something like that in the round, you really don't want to have a lot of holes because you want it to be as even as possible. This particular invisible decrease stitch has become one of my staples. So I want to share that with you. But the first thing I want to do is I want to show you the differences, the way a regular decrease looks compared to an invisible decrease. So as I learned it, basically you take and put the hook into the first single crochet that you want to decrease with. You yarn over and pull up a loop. So you have 2 loops on the hook. And then you do the same thing with the next stitch. So then you have 3 loops on the hook, and then you yarn over and pull through all 3. Well, what I've found, the problem with this is that first off, it doesn't look like the stitch next to it. It looks bigger than the stitch that was next to it, and it just doesn't have quite the tension that I'd like it to do. And people told me, well, just use a smaller crochet hook when you're doing a decrease. Well, I don't really want to do that because I don't want to disrupt the actual size of what I'm working with. So I didn't want to do that. So finding the other stitch was a much better way of being able to do it. So let's do the regular decrease again. Usually what you do is you put through both loops of the single crochet you want to decrease with and the next one, and you yarn over on both of them to create 3 loops, yarn over and pull up a stitch. And then if you look, what has a tendency to happen is you find up having these little extra holes and stuff in your work that you really don't want to see. And that's one of the reasons why I was so disappointed in working in the round, because I couldn't get the decreases to look the way I wanted them to do until I found the invisible decrease. So here's what we do to do that. We're not going to be working with both loops in the stitches we want to decrease with. We're only going to be working with the front loops. In order to do that, we insert the hook into the front loop of the first stitch we want to decrease with. We are not going to wrap any yarn from the tail around it. We're going to then rotate it, pick up the next loop, and now we're going to have 3 loops on the hook. Now we're going to yarn under, and the reason why I'll have to go through that in a second, yarn under, and then we have 2 loops on the hook, and then we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Now look at the difference already of how much better that looks compared to the one we did earlier. And the reason why I did the yarn under the first time is because I'm utilizing a cross-stitch single crochet for my amigurumi toy. And this cross-stitch gives you a much taunter look to it and less holes, as you can see. You can see the little cross that's on there. Most of the time when you do a regular single crochet, these look like V's, okay? These look like cross stitches, and it allows you to have less holes, and it's a much more firm stitch. If you'd like to learn about this particular stitch, I'll leave the link to it in the video at the bottom in the comments, and you'll be able to click on that and learn. That's the first one. Now let's do another one back to back. So we're going to insert into the front loop of the first stitch, rotate around, pick up the one from the second stitch, yarn under, pull through, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. If you notice, the stitching looks pretty much the same, and you don't see the holes that you saw when you were doing the regular decrease. So this is going to be a little tool that you can put in your toolbox to utilize. And maybe if you didn't do a lot of things in the round or were disappointed with some of the looks that you got with this, you'll find utilizing this particular stitch is going to give you a much more professional look with less holes and not having to change the hook size. So if you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel, as I'm going to be adding videos on a regular basis. And happy crocheting.